Good morning, Unity Church of Overland Park, and happy Valentine's Day to our beloved community. I'm your Senior Minister, Reverend Jackie Fernandez, and I'm joined here on screen by our Associate, Reverend Carrie King, our ASL interpreter for today, Terry Sturgeon, also a prayer chaplain, and our legendary music director, Fred Albers.
Legendary.
And legendary. Behind the scenes, we've got Magic Mike. We also have Deb Philby, our communications coordinator, managing social media this morning. So if you're tuning in on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and say good morning to Deb. And we also will have Tiffany Crabtree join us for announcements today. And music. Who is it?
Daniel Nahmod.
Yes, yeah. Daniel Nahmod. He is, it got an extraordinary setup for us today. So our hearts will be warmed in this freezing, frigid weather. Our hearts are sure to be warmed up today through our service. All right.
Hey.
I have a feeling. Yeah, it's coming.
Jackie,
Hey, Fred.
Do you know what indoor sport Cupid plays?
What indoor sport does Cupid play, Fred?
Darts. Hey, and also Cupid has a pet pig. You know what the Cupid's pet pig's name is?
What?
Valenswine.
Valenswine. No.
Stop.
Well, Fred, do you know why skunks don't celebrate Valentine's Day?
No, I don't.
They're just too sentimental, Fred. They're just too sentimental.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Carrie, make us stop.
You have to stop. I have some fun facts I want to share.
All right, share.
This won't make you as crazy as this joking stuff. You know, sweetheart candy, the stuff with the little sayings on it, like that. Yes. Oh, I love that stuff. And I loved it years ago. Do you know that was invented in 1866?
Okay.
And the company that made it in the late 90s and into the 21st century, oh my gosh, that makes us sound very, very old. The production for Valentine's Day candy ramped up in September, producing about 100,000 pounds of these little candy hearts per day.
Per day?
Per day.
Wow.
And about 8 billion hearts per year were produced.
That's extraordinary.
And
Boy,
Fred,
it's amazing what we can do when we put our mind to it.
And Fred, you're going to love this part.
Oh, yeah?
This year, some of the sayings were based on song titles. So on some of the candies, there are things like, I Got You, Babe, 1,000 Hours, Only You, Adore You, Love Me Tender, etc., etc., etc.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love, yes. I'll Be There.
If there are billions of candies, there's no shortage of love song to choose from.
Absolutely. And we have our own sweetheart baby. Chef Gary Hild, many years ago, was a sweetheart baby. Today is his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Chef Gary.
We just want to send that out to him.
Yeah. Well, my sweetheart, Tammy Rising, just had a birthday on Friday, so she's very close to a sweetheart baby. So happy birthday happy belated birthday to my love. Well, here at Unity Church of Overland Park, we are always all about the love. That's true for the Unity movement, and it's true for us. We are all about the love. So today we will be closing our 5-week series. This is the 5th week of our series, New Thought for a New Year, where we've been reviewing some of the foundational teachings and principles of unity and of New Thought. And today, for the love of God, we will be talking about love and abundance. I just find myself really challenged talking about one without talking about the other. They're so intertwined to me, and they are some of our key concepts and spiritual laws in Unity teaching. So we will be getting into that for the love of God very soon. At Unity, we affirm and behold the Christ in, through, and as each of you, regardless of who you are, what your creed, religion, gender expression, sexual orientation, whatever identifier we might use to separate each other. We don't see it in unity as a division. We see it as ways that we each uniquely express as the one living holy presence. So We see you, we behold you, we love you, and we are so grateful you've joined us today, or at some point in the future. We include you, we bring you into this time and space with us right now, since it's all an illusion anyway, right? We are dreaming together. So let's behold one of our foundational unity affirmations together. I've got the Christ light candle, or the Christ candle lit next to me. So let's affirm together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, the source of all good. Reverend Carrie, will you lead us in our vision statement?
Oh, yes. Let's just take a nice deep breath and know that this vision is here now, seeing it beyond all appearances. We affirm a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we continue through our opening affirmation statements. These are ways that we can ground ourselves as a community. And I'll have more to say about our future space affirmation. And here's a hint: shine. We're going to get to that in a little bit. There's a teaser for you. You're going to want to stay tuned in. But for now, let's settle in to the empowerment of this affirmation regarding our future space. We are grateful for our new spiritual home that empowers us to fulfill our mission. And so we are. It is my delight to introduce, many of you know, these people need no introduction, Dwight and Doris Briggs for the reading of the daily word. Dwight and Doris met at Unity Temple on the plaza. Oh my goodness. And we have a picture. Yay. I asked if they would give us one, and they sure did. Look at that. Newlyweds. And then later they began attending Unity Church of Overland Park. They were married in 1995 by Reverend Mary Omwake. The unity candle that they will have with them lit during the ceremony will be burning today on Sunday. Okay, so the candle they have today, is the unity candle that they used for their ceremony, their wedding ceremony. Both participated in Science of Mind course offered at UCOP that was being revamped to fit with unity principles. And Doris described it as a great experience to go even deeper. Dwight has facilitated the book study of Joel Goldsmith's The Infinite Way for 4 to 5 years, and Doris started the Artist Way group at UCOP based on the book by the same name. Both have volunteered as ushers and offertory stewards. So let's welcome now Doris and Dwight for the reading of the daily word.
You got it.
Today's daily word is heart expression. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. Sharing love is a wonderful way of discovering and responding to the divinity alive in every heart, binding us as a human family. My loving nature helps me see the best in every person whose life touches mine. Today I remember one of the legends of Saint Valentine, in which he fashioned pieces of parchment into hearts, which he gave to others as tokens of his compassion and God's love.
Today, the tradition continues when I say, you are dear to me. I hold you in my heart with a card, gift, call, or a simple act of kindness. I share love with no expectation of reciprocation, and my heart welcomes every expression of love from others. Love's energies grows through both giving and receiving.
Today's scripture. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also should love one another. In John 13:34.
Thank you, Dwight and Doris. That was beautiful. And you are a beautiful symbol of love that goes on and on. So let's take ourselves even deeper into that feeling of love. We often think of Valentine's Day as that time for lovers, for that eros kind of love. But there are many, many kinds of love. And I like to believe that we can embrace all of them every day. So I invite you now to sink into that awareness of just love, of God love, that love that we are, that we get to choose to express every day to every single person we come in contact with. Breathing in and breathing out. We are so grateful today that we come together in love, that this community and beyond are joined together in that love through our awareness of the Christ within. So we take in the words that are said today and the music that is coming forward, and we allow ourselves to be transformed in that love, in that life that is the Christ. What a wonderful opportunity we have right here, right now. Know that you all are here by divine appointment. Whether you're hearing us here on Sunday the 14th or July 4th. It is our joy to be together here and now in this way. So we simply open our hearts in deep, deep gratitude and so much love and say, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Carrie. So I have an update for you. Let me bring back my pillow, my candy heart pillow. Get it in the front of the camera there. Shine, shine, shine. So we have a beautiful opportunity and announcement to share with you. The board of directors has approved our move to PlexPod as a temporary space solution for us as we continue to search for our permanent spiritual home. So there you see on the screen a picture of PlexPod Lenexa. Now there are PlexPod locations around the city, so you'll want to be sure that you go to the one in Lenexa when it's time for us to meet in person. That is still a ways down the road, as you all would probably presume. But beginning March 1st, we will begin to move our office spaces to the PlexPod location in Lenexa on 10,000 Marshall Drive. Many of you joined us last week at our tailgame parade pre-game experience, which was a lot like this morning. So it was very cold, but thank you to about the 35 or 40 of you that showed up for that and got your Lenten booklets and your treats, your Super Bowl cookies. It was wonderful to see you all. And you got a sneak peek, at least at the parking lot, which you would have noticed there's plenty of parking for us. We will have our office spaces there, and so that we will be able to have our board meetings, our future space team meetings, all ministry teams will be able to meet there. We'll be able to have classes and workshops. There are plenty of rooms in this building that we will be able to utilize for that. And there's an event space and spaces for our classrooms. There's the event space. We will be able to stream there. And the plan right now is to do that beginning Easter Sunday. Now, again, we're not inviting people yet to attend, but all of us putting on the service will be able to be in one location. There's plenty of space for us to social distance and do so safely, but together, so that all of our ministry activity happens under one roof. So we will be able to shine and be who we are as Unity Church of Overland Park in the meantime of looking for our permanent spiritual home. So join me in celebrating this wonderful decision. Join me in celebrating and honoring the faith and commitment of our board of directors to make this discernment a truly sacred experience. So we will talk more about that next week, and we will invite you all to attend a town hall coffee meeting following service next week so that we can give you all the details for that. But for now, we just want you to know that we are moving in this direction that has been decided. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And this will be the time that we also bless our love offering and tithes, knowing that as we give, we fully receive, and this is but one example of that. Our efforts together make this possible, this move to PlexPod, this move into a new space that will allow us to be all that we are as a community. So I invite you now to warm up your hands, warm up your hearts, open your hearts as you bless the gifts that you give and contribute to our community with our love offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am joy-filled and so very grateful. And so it is. You may make your contributions either by going online to ucop.org/giving, make a donation electronically. It is very safe and secure. Or you can mail a check into 535 North Merlin Road, Suite A in Olathe, Kansas, 66062. You see the address on your screen. You will also find that information at our website. So please feel free to do so in the way that serves you best. It is now time to introduce Daniel Nahmod. Many of you are familiar with him. He is a pillar of New Thought music, and we are so delighted and joy-filled to have him here with us today. More than enough, Daniel Nahmod.
Hello, Overland Park. It's Daniel Nahmod. Long time no see. Well, pretty much long time no see anybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Valentine's Day. Thrilled to be singing for you again this morning. Hope you are sleeping well and eating well and taking care of yourself. I won't say I'm worried about people in general, but I absolutely am trying to think good thoughts for so many people around the country and around the world who are so isolated, or who have gotten sick, or who have lost their jobs. It's been a tough time. And on Valentine's Day, what an easy segue into the love that is in fact inexhaustible and infinite. The love I feel for my wife and my boy. I hope the love they feel for me. The love that we might feel for all of humanity, the love we would feel for a pet, the love we'd feel for our closest friends, the love we feel for planet Earth, and whatever God means to you, from whatever faith tradition, whatever history you have with the thought of a God. The love that we can pretty much safely assume God feels for us. I've always likened it to the love that every mother feels for her newborn baby. That love has no scarcity and has no limits. This is a hymn, a prayer song, a singable song, if you'd like to join me, on the subject of that inexhaustible love. So happy Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy the music today. And let's sing together if you're so inclined. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without again? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go and sing again? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt?
my heart. Oh, my heart is just bursting with that song. Your infinite love. There's more than enough. Whatever we choose to do. Oh, my goodness. We are forever and always held in the loving arms of Spirit. The loving arms of Spirit. You've heard me say before that love is the ruling law of the universe. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. When God put skin on through our way shower Jesus, the message, the living message was love, mercy, grace, that we should interpret spiritual law through the lens of love. God is love. Scriptures give us all of these messages over and over again, that we are forever held in love. Rumi said, what you seek is seeking you. There's an old axiom that says, what you are, let me get it right here. What we are looking for, we are looking with. What we are looking for, we are looking with. Today's talk is For the Love of God. And as we close this 5-week series on New Thought for a New Year, our foundational teachings, this talk kind of stitches together all of the other talks. We began with toxic positivity toxic positivity. I always mix those up, and spiritual positivity. So we want to be reminded once again, because in the topic of love and abundance, we have a unique ego habit of turning on ourselves. I'm going to give you an example. If you think about every love experience you've had in your life, I would imagine that you also have some experiences of pain, loss, rejection, betrayal, perhaps. At some point, even loss. And so often we turn those experiences on ourselves as a proving point that we are unworthy of the experience of love. When we talk about abundance, because we're bringing you both of these into the conversation today, love and abundance, I have a hard time talking about one without talking about the other. They are both, to me, some of our foundational, not even just spiritual principles, but love as the ruling law of the universe and abundance as our context, the context of the universe. It's not that God is abundant as an attribute of God, but God is abundance itself. The universal context of each of us is abundance. So I have a hard time separating the two. So we're going to get into both of them, and it works beautifully because they are both some of our foundational principles in unity and new thought. And we turn both against ourselves. So I already talked about love. Now think about abundance in your life and how it has shown up or not. Often when we feel a sense of lack, when we feel that we are not in the abundant flow or in the flow of abundance, we turn it on ourselves. I'm not worthy of abundance. There's not enough for me. Like Daniel Nahmod's song, there is more than enough, but we so often think, he wouldn't have written those lyrics if we weren't in the habit of thinking there's not enough for me, or I will never be able to finish the sentence. Yet what we know to be true about love and abundance is there is universal infinite flow. Both are unending. Both are unending. So we begin to dig a little deeper, that we may step into the flow. Sometimes you'll hear it said that we need to get out of our own way. And that can be true. And that's a good practice for thinking of ways that maybe we're being our own worst enemy in a situation, or maybe our certain thought patterns or beliefs are getting in the way of us seeing the fullness of our good. But another way of saying that is that we need to get into the flow. So how do we get out of our own way and into the flow at the same time? I love the idea of stepping into the flow because we get to bring ourselves into the process instead of that inner violence of getting myself out of the way. I'm doing it wrong. I'm having the wrong thoughts. I don't have enough faith. I have unbelief. I lack commitment. All of these things that we say to ourselves, that inner voice, when we feel like we are failing or we aren't manifesting a love experience or an experience that proves the abundance of the universe. So instead of pushing ourselves out of the way, instead we bring it all in. We bring it all to the table. Last week we talked about Unity's third principle, our thoughts create our reality. Well, if we push our thoughts out of the way, then we can't apply thought treatment. So we bring it all to the table. We lay it on the altar. We talked about that last week. And so we're going to remind ourselves that we're bringing all of ourselves to the table, to the altar of spirit, and we're going to let God do its work in, through, and as us. An example of how kind of ridiculous it is that we turn on ourselves is electricity. Eric Butterworth, one of Unity's greatest ministers and authors, talks about electricity very often as a metaphor for the power of God. So imagine yourself turning on a light, whether you're flipping a switch or turning on a lamp, and it doesn't turn on. Well, you might check the electrical connection. If it's a lamp, you might make sure it's plugged in. If it's a light with a switch, you might check the light bulb, jiggle it a little bit, or see if it's burnt out. And if that doesn't work, you might look around the house and see if other electronics are getting electricity, if electricity is flowing elsewhere in the house. And if that's not happening, you might go to the breaker box and you might call the electric company, but you sort of go through all of this problem solving steps. But at no time do you stop and think, well, I'm just not worthy of electricity. It must be me. There's not enough electricity for me. And by the way, I don't deserve it anyway. And of course, I can't turn the light on because me. Terrible, terrible, terrible. My fault. Unworthy. We don't do that, right? We just look for the problem. We look for the breakdown of flow. Where is the flow being interrupted? This is the way that we are to attend to our spiritual flow, not by turning on ourselves with inner violence, not by beating ourselves up, not by proclaiming that we lack anything, but rather look for the interruption of flow. Is it a thought? Is it a feeling? Is it a belief that I'm holding? Where, and without judgment, where is this disconnect? Without judgment. Is it something from my past? Did a situation similar to this happen in my past? Whether, even if it's a positive love experience, sometimes we are so afraid of meeting up against the same pain that we experienced in the past that we hold ourselves back in a current love experience. Whether it's with a person, a romantic partner, a family member, a friend, a pet. Sometimes our past heartbreak prevents us from moving fully forward in a current relationship because we're afraid. So we look without judgment for where the flow is being disrupted. Perhaps in an experience of abundance, which is not just about money. It's not about material wealth, but it's also about faith. It's also about health. It's also about hope. It's also about imagination, abundance, life-giving, life-affirming ideas and substance that brings forth all manifestation into our lives. And what we need to know and always remember that we are that powerful. We are that power-filled. That through the powers of love, through the context of an abundant universe of abundance as the context and fabric of the universe, we are able to open ourselves as a channel for this flow. We are that power-filled. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son. And it's not that it was only for Jesus. That's just the scripture story. Metaphysically, it's that the person, Jesus, demonstrated his Christ potential fully. And that's possible for each and every one of us. Now, it looks different for us than it did in the gospel stories. And in some ways, I'm like really cool with that. In other ways, I'm kind of like, but if I could turn water to wine, that might be all right. I might be into that. I'm reminded of the story of Peter walking on water, being called out of the boat in a storm to walk to Jesus. Peter steps on the water and he walks. It's like, this is cool. This is working. I'm going. Here I go. And then he begins to lose faith. And what happens? He begins to sink. And this is what we do. As soon as we begin to lose faith, the universe supports us in that loss. So we talked about last week, our thoughts create our reality. I can't do this. I don't have it in me to do this. All of the negative thoughts are also supported by the universe, because the universe is just here to bring forth what we open ourselves as a channel for. So in the moment that I am faithless, the universe is going to deliver in support of that faithlessness. So when I look around, I'm looking through a lens of faithlessness, and I'm going to see everything that proves my faithlessness. And in a holy moment, when the Christ reaches in, just like Peter, we rise back up on top of the water. We rise back into our own living miracle, whatever that is. Peter, Petros, is his name in Greek, which means rock. On this rock, I will build my church. So, the joke is it would be more, correctly interpreted as Rocky instead of Peter. His name would be Rocky. Upon this rock, I will build my church. And we begin to see that it makes a little more sense. It is on the foundation of faith that we create ourselves as the open channels of love and abundance, living out our own personal miracles, living out our own spiritual truth, bringing forward into manifestation all that we truly want, which, like Peter, is to be close to spirit. I can give you a personal example as well. Many of you know, if you're not new with us today, you probably have heard Tammy and I recently got married. We are newlyweds, which makes today extra fun for us. And I shared with you that, we had originally planned to have a wedding where we would invite family and friends. And we found ourselves getting frustrated because of this pandemic, that we couldn't make a plan for it, because how could you pick a date on a calendar when you aren't even sure when it would be safe? My family's on the West Coast. When would it be safe for them to travel? Her family is also out of town, a little closer, but out of town. When would it be safe for us to gather? I've been to a wedding. I officiated a wedding in December, and everyone was wearing masks. There was social distancing. Everyone was very far apart. And I thought to myself, it was beautiful. That was beautiful for them. They had their reasons for going forward with the wedding, not what they had planned. They had planned theirs to be in Jamaica, but they had it at Unity Village as it was. We started thinking into, what do we want this to look like? What don't we want it to look like? And if we want to not have to wear masks and to feel like everyone can be safe, we just saw the date moving out and out and out, further out on the calendar, which was very disheartening. That sinking feeling, like Peter, this is not going to happen. It's going to happen in some weird time, and we've been together for so long, wanting to have been married, and how will that even feel when it finally happens? And it just occurred to us, Tammy first, that we could just get married. And as we opened to this life-affirming, life-giving, divine idea, we immediately stepped into flow. So it's not that we got out of our own ways. We stayed open. We brought all of our feelings about the situation to the altar, and Spirit opened a way. We stepped into the flow, and everything from that point forward was so easy. Now, it was surprising, probably, to our family would be a good word to say, and surely they were sad to not be able to share that moment with us, that experience, that ceremony. And for us, this was an experience of love and abundance. This was us opening to our own living miracle of how we might live our lives together as a married couple. Knowing that we can plan that big party, we can still have that reception when it's safe, but that the experience of being married didn't have to hinge on some unknown factor that led us to that sinking feeling, to that experience of lack and what we couldn't have, and that focus of what's not working for us. So what we are looking for, we are looking with. What we are seeking is seeking us. And we found the most magical place on the most magical mountain on the most magical day to exchange our vows. And it was beautiful and perfect and miraculous. So that's but an example of what happens when we open ourselves as the channel. Many of you probably have houseplants, and you probably notice that once in a while you have to turn them because they will reach out toward the sunlight. So wherever the closest window is, the leaves will face that way, the flowers will face that way, and they start to maybe lean a little bit. So you might turn the pot. And that's an example of what we are looking for. We are looking with the sun. At the same time that the plants are reaching out to the sunlight, the sun is reaching back to the plant. Now, the sun is always shining. You know what I mean? The sun is always shining. So if the plants are leaning away, you might think in that moment, in that snapshot moment, well, that doesn't hold true because the plants are not reaching back to the sun. It's just the sun reaching out. That's how spirit works. It's always present. Love and abundance is always present. It's always available. Don't get smart with me talking about what about cloudy days. Just stick with me. It's always available. And we are reaching for it. But in a snapshot of a moment, it might look like we are not. But really, it's truly what we seek. We've just positioned ourselves in a way, or perhaps we have been positioned by someone else in a way that causes us to lean away from whatever that love or abundance experience is. But we are looking for that. We will once again lean back. And we will see the presence of the light, and we will find it. So allow ourselves to move into the flow, not pushing ourselves out of the way, not pushing our beliefs and our thoughts out of the way. Even if they are detrimental, we bring them to the altar, we bring them to the experience, and we lay them at the feet of the Master, allowing Spirit to do its work in, through, and as us. We open ourselves as a channel of love and abundance, as a channel of the benevolence of the universe. That's Unity's first principle: one power, one presence, active in our lives and in the universe. God, the source of all good. We say this every Sunday. God, the source of all good. Benevolence, appreciation, kindness. Appreciation, kindness, generosity. This is the pure definition of spirit, and it is the pure definition of you. Kindness, or first let me say appreciation, because that is what softens our heart. Yes, I'm talking about the power of gratitude. It begins with appreciation. Softens our heart. A kindness opens our heart. Right there, we've already stepped into the flow of abundance because we are bringing kindness from us, opening ourselves as a channel. Generosity, that allows our heart to be in expression. We bring it out as action. That's love and abundance moving in, through, and as us. We are completely in alignment with the truth of all that is, as love, as abundance, in action. This is your Valentine's blessing today. May it allow you to shine, shine, shine as all that you were created to be, individually, collectively as a spiritual community, and in the world. Blessings, blessings, blessings. As we begin our time of meditation, I'll invite Fred to lead us in with some music. I invite you to settle in now for this communion with Spirit as you open yourself to all love that is available to you in this moment. It is the infinite presence of love available to you. I'm going to read some words by Mark Nepo from the Book of Awakening, February 14th. Love at first sight. The true power of love at first sight is often missed because we insist on limiting its meaning to the sweep of falling into another person upon first meeting. To appreciate the deeper sense of this, we must uncover and reclaim the importance of first sight itself, which has more to do with seeing things essentially rather than physically for the first time. We all walk around within the numbness of our habits and routines so often that we take the marvels of ordinary life for granted. It is first sight that opens the freshness of each moment, unencumbered by any of our habits and routines. First sight is the moment of God's sight, heart sight, soul sight. It is the seeing of revelation, the feeling of oneness that briefly overcomes us when nothing remains in the way. At its deepest and most real level, the notion of love at first sight is spoken of in every spiritual tradition as the reward for being fully awake. Such seeing anew restores our sense of being alive. Paradoxically, first sight is recurring. In the same way that we wake every day, we regularly return to first sight in the rhythm of our wakefulness of spirit. Whenever we can see with that original vision, with nothing between us and the life around us, we can't help but love what we see. To see so fundamentally opens us to love. To love so fundamentally is to see the world we're a part of as the vibrant, ongoing creation that it is. So, it really manifests this way. At first sight, we find love. At our first true seeing, the love that is already there touches us. In this regard, first seeing is an ever-present threshold to the majesty of what is. Certainly and beautifully, this happens with other people when we, upon first truly seeing another, fall sweetly into the miracle of their presence. But this is also possible on a daily basis, upon first truly seeing ourselves, our world, our sense of God again and again. I can work across from the same person for years, and one day, because my own suffering has opened me more fully than I can remember, and because the light floods that person's face, I can, for the first time, truly see who they are and feel love for them. I can walk by the same willow season after season, and one day, because of the sheen of after rain and the lowness of the wind, I can truly see the willow like never before and feel love for the willow in all of us. I can, in the mirror late at night, after seeing myself hundreds of times, see the willow and the light and the other in my tired face, and know that sameness as the stuff of God. In truth, it has never been about first meeting, though this can happen, but more about first coming into view. As a breeze all spun out lets the water go clear, we finally stop talking, stop performing, stop pretending, and all tired out, we go clear. And the heart that rests in everything beats before us. So we take the power of this truth deeply into our heart space. For the knowing of our own presence, for the knowing of the presence of spirit, and for the knowing that it is but one presence. We are so grateful. So we open to opportunities to open ourselves as the channel of love and abundance. We open to opportunities for healing. Any thought or belief that prevents us from fully opening to the availability of love and abundance. We begin by being a loving presence for our own beings. And we move out. We move love out from us, allowing it to emanate to all who come into our presence, to all who come into our mind, into our heart space, knowing that there is no limitation of time or space. So we allow this radiance to shine brightly as we reflect in silent contemplation. For this moment of stillness, we give thanks for the presence of love itself, for the opportunity to be that presence. We are so grateful. And so we open as the channels of pure love, pure abundance, pure self. And so it is. Amen. Namaste. Welcome back to the screen, Daniel Nahmod.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. Wanna sing with me? Love is my decision. It's up to me. It's up to me to stand on that bridge, to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive, can make me forgive. Once I decide, and once I decide to change my mind, to change my mind, God will show me how. God will show me how. Love here and now. One more time, here we go. Love is my decision. It's up to me. It's up to me to dance down that road, to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load, can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, and God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision. Right here and now. My decision. Right here and now. It's my decision. Right here and now. Thanks.
Yes,
Nice
thank
job singing
you.
with me.
I know I was singing. I hope you were singing too. And big thank you to Daniel Nahmod for bringing your gift of music and your lovely heart and your deep love-filled heart through your music to us today. We're so grateful. Well, it looks like Tiffany is out in the cold looking for her dog who ran off in the woods. So we bless her as she is out and about doing that, hoping that they both stay warm and are back inside very soon. So I will bring to you our closing announcements, and with a great reminder to sign up for spirit groups if you haven't yet. Please do so. You can do so online at ucop.org. If you've never participated in a spirit group, please give yourself this gift. And if you have, please do it again. There are various days and times that you can sign up for, so you can choose something that fits your schedule. And some of the groups will be moving through our Lenten season with us and taking the Sunday talks and messages just a little bit deeper. And other spirit groups are more specialized in with a podcast or a book or something like that. So you will surely find something that works for you, both in topic, subject matter, and time. Give yourself the gift. And if you want to know why and maybe more details about how spirit groups can be so beneficial to your spiritual growth and to your sense of community, please refer to our e-news, which went out this last Friday, as Karen Willett gave sort of a testimony of what spirit groups have meant to her. So you'll want to read through that if you're on the fence about it. And you don't have to even be a part of our community. If you're tuning in and you're listening to this and you're thinking, that sounds really cool, but I don't go to your church regularly, I just happen by here today, or I've been kind of newish lately, it's fine. You can also invite friends and family who live out of town because it's all virtual this year. And one more mention that we do for the first time have a deaf spirit group that will be conducted in ASL only, led by Swanhilda Lilly. So we're so delighted to be offering that opportunity as well. UCOP Kids will connect on Zoom after service, as well as the YOU. They have their own thing with their own group text going, so I know they're getting that all under control, and they'll know where to tune in. But if you need the UCOP Kids for ages 12 and under, please go to our Facebook page, Unity Church of Overland Park, to get the details of that Zoom meeting. But they will meet with Miss Clarissa, and they always have something very special to talk about and spend their time together. This Wednesday, February 17th, is Ash Wednesday. Faith Rivera will be joining us for this Zoom service. So this will not be on Facebook or YouTube. This will only be on Zoom. So it's a very closed community sense for this experience. And we will have our release and renew Ash Wednesday service. Please have on hand, if you want, some ashes, maybe some incense ashes or essential oils. If you don't have essential oils, or if you have a skin allergy, you might choose olive oil or some other kind of oil that works well for you, just to have it on hand so that you can participate. And please know that this is a metaphysical experience of Ash Wednesday. So it's really about allowing ourselves to release to old ways of thinking and open up to what is new, that we're all in the effort of moving towards Easter, which is all about life and that which is life-giving. So we begin the Lenten season this Wednesday together on Ash Wednesday with Faith Rivera. You won't want to miss that. Please mark your calendars. So if you are not currently subscribed to our e-news, you're going to want to get on board with that. Go to ucop.org and sign up for our e-news, because you'll get an email every Friday that will tell you everything that's happening in our community. And also you will get the Sunday morning emails, which have our order of service and song lyrics, which I know lots of you like to access and take a look at. So now we will close our service, bringing Reverend Carrie back to the screen for our prayer for protection. I will lead us in our mission statement, and then we'll have a closing song by Daniel Nahmod before meeting on Zoom for coffee time.
All right, let's pull it all in. All of that energy that we have, that we know is abundantly present in that abundance that is God, that love, that light, that peace. As we say, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And Jackie?
Because God is, all is truly, truly well.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Carrie. You know that all is well. We are so, it's so ingrained in many of us because it's been added, but it's not part of the initial prayer for protection that was written by James Dillett Freeman. And so I like to say, as a reminder, so that it doesn't sort of like all is well, woohoo, you know, unicorns and roses, that it's because God is. All is because the truth of the abundance, of our context of abundance and our ruling law of love, because of those two facts, all is truly, truly well. So in that energy and in that knowing, let's affirm together our mission statement as we seek to ground ourselves more deeply in the presence of love and abundance, opening ourselves as channels for these great spiritual gifts. We affirm our mission statement together. Unity Church of Overland Park transforms lives and empowers people to make a difference in the world. Yes, we do. And we do that so well and so beautifully. So please take some time before you get rocking and rolling with your Valentine's Day plans. Take some time to join us for coffee time right here after service on Zoom. There's the ID, which you will get in your e-news as well if you're subscribed to that, but you can see it here on the screen, 376-922-0711. Just giving you a few moments to jot that down if you need to. If you've never stopped in for coffee time, please join us. It's so fun. We get to just spend some time together and conversation. And sometimes we get special sneak previews of upcoming information. You just never know what's going to happen. I promise Fred won't tell any more jokes. Neither will I. Maybe one. We might tell one more. Okay. So next week, as we know, Wednesday begins Ash Wednesday, which then means Sunday next is the beginning of our Sunday Lenten series. So it will begin with the cloud of unknowing. The overall Lenten season will be working with Peter Rollins' work, Atheism for Lent. And I don't want that to scare anyone. It's really about trying on the criticism by both atheists and theists about religion and about spiritual practice and belief. And it's about reading those and considering those to help illuminate our own personal theology. So this is really meant to be a kind of a decentering, something that will challenge our unconscious beliefs or even things that we just think we know about the divine and about faith. And that process allows us to get clarity and to come to a new center. So the question is not where will God go during this process, but where will we go on this journey? So you want to join us next week for the cloud of unknowing. And now we will close with a song by Daniel Nahmod, Cornerstone. And just know that I love you. We'll see you soon.
I cannot build a castle or bridge. I cannot build a tower to the sky. I cannot build the humblest home without a cornerstone. I cannot walk adrift in this world. I cannot sail the infinite ocean. I cannot climb a mountain alone without a cornerstone. Something solid, something true, something never moving beneath me, something ancient, something new, on which I can rest completely. Stopping, neither is the pain. Sometimes I get caught up, drowning in the rain, so my mind tries to take control again, but the bumps and bruises give me adrenaline. The journey isn't known, and I've never had a plan, so I keep trying to get up with my own hands and my heart on my own, and keep coming back to my cornerstone. Something solid, something true, something never moving beneath me, something ancient, something new, on which I can rest completely. I cannot go where I've never been. I cannot do the work that's mine to do. I cannot climb that mountain alone without a cornerstone. I'll never know the meaning of home without a cornerstone. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without again? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go with sing again? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul